Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by the Lines and Play Picks, coming to you from Oakland, California. Josh Lander, joined as always by my counterpart on the East Coast, Nate Weitzer. Another great article on playpicks.com from Nate for you guys. Make sure that you are jumping into the comments, like and subscribe on that video for us. Nate, we had actually two gift card winners last night. We put up the prop for Zach LaVine's rebounds plus points. He got 37, and two people guessed that correctly, so we'll be dishing out some gift cards there. Stay tuned for another one. We'll be coming at you with another one soon. And for right now, Nate, let's jump into those lines for the 25th of February.
Yes, sir. Pretty intriguing little slate here. Right now, we have the Mavs hovering at +5 at the Sixers. The Magic +7.5 or 8.5, depending on your book, at Nets. The Kings +2 at Knicks. The Clippers -8 at the struggling Grizzlies. The Wizards +7 at the Nuggets. And the Pelicans around +9 at the Bucks, which I will start with. That's intriguing to me. Very large spread. I kind of see this as reactionary that, the Bucks have figured things out, after losing 5 in a row in pretty bad fashion without Drew. They won 3 in a row against the Thunder, Kings, and Wolves. A Wolves team that, has nothing going right now. I just think it's a different kind of matchup against the Pelicans, who got them last month, right? 131 to 126 in a game that wasn't actually close until the very end. That's a lot of garbage time points. The Pelicans blew them out at home. Yes, the Pelicans worse on the road on the season, and the Bucks are great on the road on the season. But lately, the Pels in their last 5, they're making threes, and that's the key against the Bucks, right? They're shooting 41%, hitting 14 threes. Lonzo Ball is connecting, and that is the key to their offense. They're averaging 125 points per game in that span, and they've covered in 4 of their last 5 when road dogs on a back-to-back. That's the kind of the mark of a young team, right? They're not really going to be affected by that, and if the spread is disrespecting them for that, then I'm happy to take the points and expect kind of a close game here.
Yeah, I love that. Quick shout out, NBA Top Shots. Lonzo Ball's card is really cheap right now as his stock continues to rise, because I agree. I like what I'm seeing. Initially my thought was, the Pellies, they don't score from 3, right? They need to bang down low, and that's not how you beat the Bucks. You need to hit some threes against them. Well, to your point, they've been a lot better, especially on the road, making threes, which I really like. Obviously the last time this game happened again with these two teams, that total was about 257, somewhere around there. So feeling good about the points here, especially as you continue to see defensive specialist Drew Holiday not around for the Bucks. So I'm good with it. It's too big of a spread, and I do like the points there. Another game that I don't think we are going to agree on here with too much is the 76ers at home against the Mavs. I continue to look to get value with the 76ers at home. It is true that they are not quite as good against better opponents. They do pick on bad teams. But at home, they are 8-5 against the spread when they're the home favorite. And I think Embiid is about to feast against a Mavs team that has struggled to defend the paint since they were in the top 5 at the beginning of the season. They've dropped all the way down to the bottom 5, 7 or so in terms of allowing, opponents to score in the paint. And I do believe that Embiid is going to be able to get his tonight. A couple of things, -5.5. It's not too big, but, monitoring to see if Kristaps play as well with that spread. More importantly, regardless of Kristaps playing, I do like Joel, as I mentioned, to go off. You can either get 30 points in a Philly win at +172 on FanDuel. And if you really just want something that seems pretty easy to me, take Joel Embiid double-double. You get about even money back, but you don't have to worry about that spread. And I feel confident Joel's going to get 10 boards.
Yeah, that's a good call. Not necessarily expecting Philly to cover, because I'm just not sure about this Mavs team. Are these first 2 games a mirage, or is some feature story going to come out about a team bonding exercise during that 10-day break where they suddenly realized how to play defense? I mean, the early results are very impressive in those 2 games. They're 3rd in defensive rating in that small sample size, and they've been defending the paint. As you mentioned, beginning of the season, they were great. Now they're great again in terms of that. And on the road, they've been much better defending the paint and denying free throw attempts, which is Embiid's bread and butter. I do like the Mavs to potentially stay hot. I mean, these teams are trending the opposite directions. The Sixers are 2-5 against the spread against winning teams in their last 7. And the Mavs right now sitting at 500 look like a winning team based on the eye test. I think there's an outside chance they win this game on the road, stay hot. They have the momentum. And when you look at this player performance double, Luka to get a triple double, which he's done in 4 of his last 7 against Eastern Conference teams, in a win is plus 900 at FanDuel. I don't see any reason not to fire a small bet at that and hope it pays off. Also eyeing just his points, rebound, assist at 48.5, especially with KP out. He's been a monster grabbing those rebounds and handling everything offensively. A game where I actually do like the favorite is the Clippers on the road against the Grizzlies, who have allowed the favorite to cover in 8 of their last 9. They've been dreadful since winning those back-to-back games against the Spurs. They're allowing 116 points, and they're 0-5 against the spread against winning teams. They're 27th in three-point defense in that span, which is the key, right? Clippers, the best three-point shooting team outside of Utah in the league. On the road, in their last 6, they've won 5 of those games. They're shooting a league best 45% from deep, which is amazing.
Yeah.
In that span, Paul George has 25 points in 6 of those last 7, and he's shooting a career high 48% from 3. Love the Clippers to just light up the Grizz, and if you want a player performance prop there, Paul George 4+ threes in a win is plus 180.
Yeah, I'm with it. We continue to pick on Memphis as they, lack a big man down low. I mean, obviously Valanciunas is down there, but they don't have that stretch. And they need Triple J, who's been hurt all season. Dylan Brooks missed a couple games. I think, the team that you saw that came out with a spark because Ja was back after they missed a bunch of games as well as a team against the Spurs. I don't think that team is around anymore. And if the Clippers have their big guns, then they're definitely 7.5 points better than the Memphis Grizzlies.
Right. Something you got to watch since it's a back-to-back in Memphis is the Clippers could always rest guys. So keep an eye on that right up till tip.
Absolutely, as always. Yep. And then another game, Nate. Don't really need to watch the injury report. Got pretty much know who we're going to have playing in that Brooklyn Magic game. The Magic are another team that we continue to pick on, especially without Aaron Gordon, Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz. When you've got guys like Michael Carter-Williams, Dwayne Bacon, Gary Clark playing significant minutes for you, you're not going to be putting up 100 points too often, which is an interesting case in this game. Obviously, the total is about 227.5. That is something that I'm looking at as an over. I do think one thing you can look at is Vucevic being able to score on DeAndre Jordan, is pulling him out away from the basket, where DeAndre is incredibly uncomfortable, as we all know. But still, to that point, I think Brooklyn can cover that relatively small spread as they continue to pound teams, good or bad. Recently, without KD, you continue to see James Harden, Kyrie Irving ball out. One thing to consider, I'm never going to say his name right, but Cabaret Luawu is out
TLC.
Tonight. Yeah, thank you. TLC is likely out tonight, so keep an eye out on that. As far as being able to guard the perimeter, that is big for them. So I do like the offense to open up, and no matter what, you're not stopping that Nets offense right now. So I'm good with the over, and I even feel comfortable with the 7.5 points.
Yeah, that's the thing to watch with the Nets is, are they done with their little hiccup against bad teams where they just don't bring it at all? That road trip seemed to kind of spark something in them, and maybe now they can handle business regardless of whether they get up for the game or not. And as we know, the Magic do not get up for games. They are 1-9 against winning teams, with only the Warriors, your Warriors, on the list for them.
Yeah.
And looking at that game from a DFS perspective with TLC out and Jeff Green questionable, I do like DeAndre as a value at center, and I like Bruce Brown a lot as a shooting guard. I think he'll spend a lot of time guarding on the perimeter and rebounding. I like Derrick Rose with Elfrid Payton potentially out tonight. It's another good value pick. I think you got to go cheap at guard and pay up at power forward. It's just really weak in terms of value. So Julius Randle and Zion guys, I'm looking to get in there. And we didn't even touch on this game, but the Washington-Denver game could have some fireworks. So Westbrook, Jokic, definitely good guys to pay up for.
Yeah, I like it. I'm personally going to be going with that Philly Mavs game if Kristaps doesn't play. I love Luka, and I love paying for Joel tonight without too much defense in the paint for the Mavs, in my opinion. That is all the time we have for today, Nate. Continue to jump in those comments for us tonight, like and subscribe, and we will be back with another video tomorrow and maybe another guest appearance from Nate's dog. As for tonight, happy betting, y'all.